Welcome in, everybody, to the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. We're back here at the Sheraton Erie Bayfront for another round of interviews with coaches and student athletes. Got a busy schedule today here for you. You're going to have a bunch of people to talk to. And leading it off is head competitive cheer and dance coach, Kerri Makay.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right, so this is great. We get to actually talk about competition this time. It's been, the last time we talked, it was a long time without competition. Now
Yes.
you get to have a bunch of them in the last month or so. What was that like, just to get back into it?
It was really good. I think we had a long time without it, and you could see that a little bit in their performances. But for overall, we were just grateful to be able to get back out on the mat and have a really good end to our season.
Right.
It was a whirlwind, a fast one.
Yeah, and even in the early part of the season, where in a normal year you'd be already out on the road going places, you still weren't quite sure how everything was going to look. There was a lot of virtual stuff that was being planned.
Yeah.
Didn't even know where Daytona stood for a while here this spring. So what was it like just dealing with that early part of the season whenever you normally would be competing?
Yeah, it was, I think, very hard for the athletes to be able to put in all that work for such a long time. And, the build-up, it was a lot longer than usual. So I think we saw a lot of burnout before we normally would see it. But once we got back into the season, we were able to start traveling. We started by going down to Alma, and we got that event and the experience being on the road there, which is really great because then we saw them down in Daytona. It was like a really good, friendship since we didn't compete against each other, which was really awesome. But it was difficult, to say the least, but I think once we got down to Daytona, it all paid off.
Right. How much does that road trip and staying overnight help you out once you go to Daytona? Because Daytona is obviously a beast with how long you're there and how long the trip is.
It's absolutely crucial to be able to get on the road and stay overnight before we go down to Daytona, because it's just a whole different ball game being able to wake up in a hotel, get ready in the hotel, go and get ready at competition, and getting the experience to be able to travel before we go to Daytona, I think makes or breaks our nationals experience, to be completely honest, because it's just, you have to get that experience, especially for our rookies, to be able to have, the experience being on the road and traveling before competition, because it's a lot different than waking up here in Erie and going to practice or compete here. It's a very different experience.
Right. I guess speaking of competing here, we got to have the annual Road to Daytona showcase. Looked a little different, but then we got some good news late in the process there where we were allowed to have fans in, which I'm sure was nice to be able to compete in front of people. Yeah,
it was a good experience for the kids, and I think they really enjoyed having some fans there, some people to actually cheer back at them when they're cheering and when they're dancing. So that was really exciting for them to be able to get that experience. And although the event looked very different, I think it was really successful in its own unique way. And we were able to, still raise and surpass our goal for Make-A-Wish, which was really exciting too. So it was a very eventful day, and I was glad that we got the experience.
All right. So how how just nice was it to be able to go to Daytona? Like I said, I was up in the air a little bit this spring, and that's just such a reward for the end of the season.
Yeah, I think the whole trip down there, I was like, this isn't real. This doesn't feel real to me. And it didn't hit me until, I think, probably finals day, the second day that we were down there, just because it was so busy and so crazy. But I was so excited for them to get the opportunity, because I've been with this program since it began, and every Daytona experience is different, but similar in a lot of ways. And seeing how little teams were there this year compared to other years in the past, it was just so evident how much of a blessing it was for us, a smaller D2 program, to be down there and get the experience that a lot of other schools just didn't get to have this year. So I think that put a whole new spin on the Daytona experience. We always talk about, you don't understand how special it is until you're there and you're experiencing it. I think this year was even more so, just because of all of the added stress that led up to it, a week before, not knowing if we're still going to go and things like that. So I think the kids really, it was really needed for them too, because they've been here in Erie for the longest time. So to be able to get the opportunity to go out into a place that they love and that they've been looking forward to for 2 years, and to get the opportunity to compete and all of that was just really good for them, much needed. I think it's going to help them get through the next couple of days as well. So.
Yeah. How different was it down there? So obviously you said there were fewer teams there, and also I think they condensed the schedule, or at least condensed our schedule. It felt like you guys were running around the entire first 2 days there.
It was absolute craziness. So there were less teams there, like I would say even like 60% less teams. Like our divisions were a lot smaller. Normally you would see like 10 to 12 people in our divisions. There was 5 to 6 in our division. So it's very, very different in that sense. But they didn't, I think they ran the schedule very similar to how they would if it was a normal year. Because there would be, not one time, every single day it was like, okay, how am I going to be in 3 places at once? So one team would be practicing and warming up, and another team would be performing on the band shell, and I would have to like literally sprint 0.7 miles to get to my team that's warming up to go watch them and help them. And we made it work, but it was very stressful.
Yeah.
But I think that the kids, because of this year, they were, and everything that they had to deal with, were very prepared to work in chaos situations. So that was very helpful. But it was different. It was crazy. But it was a good experience, yeah.
All right. And then talk about the kind of results that you had down there. Every team matched or exceeded its previous best placement at nationals.
Yes.
And I think it was a nice cap to the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did really well this year. Our game day team, they finished 3rd in the nation as well. So when they started, that they were consistent with that placement. So our COA team had the highest placement they've ever had, and they came home with a 3rd place finish as well, which was really exciting. That's a new record for the program. And then dance also surpassed its placement from their first year in existence as well. So I think placements are super important in all of that, but I think back to just watching them interact down in Daytona, and it felt like so much more like one program than it ever has in the past, because with a program with 5 different teams, it's easy to stay in your own team. And this year I was able to see how everyone, like this year brought everyone together, and everyone was full-heartedly supporting everyone at every given point in time. And that was really special as a coach to see, especially in a program of 70 humans. Like you don't get to see that all the time. So that was a big success for me as well.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up all the cheer-related questions there. So now we're going to move on to the Fast 5, get 5 new questions for you. Okay. And see what you have to give us here. Ready?
And this is like a speed run?
Yep. See, first thing comes to your head.
Okay.
All right, ready? Favorite food?
My grandma's vegetable beef soup.
All right, let's see. What's the best sporting event you've seen in person?
Daytona.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite sport other than cheer and dance?
Basketball. Well, LeBron James.
Just LeBron
Just
James?
LeBron James.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Would you rather have a foot of snow or have it be 100 degrees and humid?
100 degrees and humid.
All right. And last one. What's your favorite animal?
A giraffe.
All right. Good answers. Came right off the top of your head for you. Love it. All right. Thanks for coming in, head competitive cheer coach Kerri Makay. And we'll be right back after this.
Hey Max, what are the deals this month? Okay, let's do it. At Bianchi Honda, we're maximizing your savings by getting you the best deal on a new Honda. This month, for only $1 down, lease the 2021 Honda HR-V LX with all-wheel drive for only $228 a month. $1 down for Honda proven all-wheel drive. Is that a deal, Max? Maximize your savings at Bianchi Honda.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. Back here with competitive cheer senior on the team, you said, sophomore in your academic program, Becca. Thanks for coming in today.
No problem.
So just exciting, I think, to be at this point of the year and have competition done. You guys didn't get to have that last year quite as much, so it's probably nice to be at this point in late April with that under your belt. So what was it like just in general this season?
This season was a lot harder than other seasons just because normally we're a very interactive team. And so it was a lot harder to do that this year because of social distancing and everything. But it was nice to be able to go back down to Daytona, especially after last year because we worked so hard and then nothing happened. And so this year it was just a lot more worth it.
What was that like last year, having that canceled? How did that just change things for you? I don't know, motivation in the fall, motivation to get to the spring. How did that make this year look different?
Yeah, it was really upsetting, and so I think we tried to, like, throughout the whole year remember that, like, it could always be taken away, and our coach always reminded us of that. Like, we had to just keep motivating ourselves and keep pushing ourselves to get to what we actually wanted to do.
All right. So once you actually got to this year, what was it like that first time when we went to Alma to actually get out there and get on the floor, be in front of judges?
It was so exciting. It was so exciting because you kind of, no offense to anyone, but you kind of get sick of performing in front of the same people. So it was really nice to, like, see how other people thought of our routines and what we were doing. That was exciting.
And then you kind of talked about there, but getting to go down to Daytona, that's, your reward after a long season when you guys are constantly working on, the same routine, making small adjustments. You get to go down there. So what was it like to be able to actually get down there?
It was amazing. It was one of the best years, I think, because it was just, I don't know, we'd gone so long without it, and it was just so much more worth it this year. And so the excitement was just on a whole different level.
And then the results, you're on the co-ed team. You guys turned in the best result in the program history. What was that like? Do you think that was something that you guys could do at the beginning of the year? Like, where did that stand?
No, honestly, not really, because it was just a really tough start to the year. We got delayed a lot. But it was really exciting to come home with third. And I mean, we wish we did a little bit better in our performances, but it was still so exciting that we got to have that little achievement under our belt.
All right. And you are a nursing major?
Yes.
All right. What do you want to do with that?
I would like to become a traveling nurse and then go back to school and become an NP.
Okay. Is that something that you kind of always wanted to do, or is that something that you realized?
No, I changed my major. I came here for forensic science.
Okay.
And then I realized I didn't want to do that. And so I switched to nursing.
All right. What initially brought you to Gannon, and what factored into that decision?
The cheer program was a big bonus, but I came on a campus tour and I just loved the environment. Like, I just loved how it was part of the city, and I don't know, I just felt like I was at home. So.
Does that still stand true now that you've been here for a few years? All right, good. It's always good.
I still really like it.
The admissions department will like to hear that. All right, so that wraps up all of the cheer-related questions and Gannon-related questions. We're going to do fast 5 segment, 5 quick questions, get to know you a little bit better. If you run into any roadblocks there, just do the last thing that you did. That's always the nice one to fall back on if it's not your favorite.
Okay, perfect.
All right, you ready? We're going to start off with, what's your favorite movie?
Oh, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
All right. Favorite book?
The Labyrinth.
All right. Let's see. What's your dream car?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. A Hummer.
All right. That's your coach had one of my favorite answers to that question whenever I asked her that last time. It's the Gannon bands. All right. Let's see. What's your dream vacation?
Bora Bora.
Okay. And last one. Favorite band or favorite kind of music?
I like all music, honestly. I guess pop. I don't know. Yeah, pop.
All right. Nope. That works. There's 5 good answers. Love to hear them. That is competitive cheer senior Becca Slack. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Best of luck with the rest of your semester.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
What is Gannon? A place where you are transformed.
Where you can find yourself and define who you want to become.
A university grounded on faith and inclusiveness.
That values your well-being and growth.
Forming a family inspired by global connections.
A community that builds on our traditions with a vision for the future.
That believes in the possibilities.
And more importantly, believes in you.
This is Gannon.
This is Gannon.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. Joined now by competitive dance junior Ashley Zinz. Thanks for coming in today.
Of course.
So you guys just got done with a season that you probably weren't sure that you were going to have or have in its entirety. What was it like to get out and compete as much as you guys were able to this year?
It was so amazing. Not being able to compete for 2 years now and not being here since my freshman year has been truly amazing, a truly amazing experience. And a lot of us didn't think we could have it, but it was so nice to be back and be able to go to Daytona.
Right. So going the whole way back to last year, whenever we found out that the rest of the season was canceled and there wasn't going to be any Daytona, how did that set you guys up for this year? Did you use it as motivation or extra, just an extra push to get you guys going?
Oh yeah, at first it was a little bit disappointing, but I think we all used that to push us to do better this year and to try to push to get us all back to competing and traveling this year.
Right. And so that first performance, whenever you guys got to go to Alma and be out there on the floor and everything, how was that? Because that'd be your first time really in front of judges, in front of another team in a year. What was that like?
It was so nice to be in front of new people, a different venue, and out of the state too, because a lot of our team members are underclassmen and have never experienced anything. So it was awesome being able to see just how they felt to really get out there and get out of our gym and perform.
All right. And then getting down to Daytona and getting to perform, what was that like?
It was also just so amazing. Everything was amazing. But I feel like we really took both last year and this year for us upperclassmen, and then also the freshmen that even didn't experience getting their season taken away last year, but they also had their senior years taken away. So seeing all that motivation for everything that we lost last year and bringing it all to Daytona was truly amazing.
All right. So on the dance team, you guys debuted a hip-hop performance this year. What was it like to have to go down there and compete? What would you guys do? Four routines in 3 days?
Yeah.
Is that a little much? Not too much, but is that just a lot keeping you busy, constantly working?
It was a lot, and it definitely kept us busy, but it was so nice to debut the Gannon hip hop team since nobody's ever seen that before, and I feel truly blessed, and I know my other team members do, to be able to be part of the first ever hip hop team.
Right. And so you've been part of the dance team since it started at Gannon too.
Yes.
What's been like to see that grow and change and evolve?
The growth has been tremendous. I personally have learned so many different things that I never thought I would be able to do, and so have my other teammates, and seeing how much we have grown just since the last time we were in Daytona, my freshman year, is amazing to see because we've improved so much already just over the past 2 years.
Right. All right. So let's see here. You are a physical therapy major, right?
Yes.
What do you want to do with that?
I am currently leaning more towards working in the outpatient setting. That's kind of where I got introduced to the field, and that's kind of how I fell in love with it. So.
Right. Okay. And what brought you to Gannon originally?
Originally, all the great health science programs that Gannon has, and I loved the community and all the people. It just really made me feel like I was at home.
Right. All right, so that's going to wrap up the dance and Gannon-related questions. We're going to move on to the Fast Five. You got a sneak peek, so these won't be quite as surprising as they were to back up. But all right, we're going to kick it off with, I'm going to change the order up a little bit, maybe confuse you. All right, dream vacation.
South Africa.
Okay. Dream car.
Land Rover.
Okay. What is your favorite book?
I would say probably The Hunger Games.
Okay. Favorite band or favorite kind of music?
Country music.
Okay. And favorite movie?
Simple Favor.
All right. There it is. That was the Fast Five. Ashley Zinz, thanks for coming in today.
Of course.
And good luck the rest of the semester. You're almost, less than 2 weeks out, right?
Yep. Thank you.
That's great. All right. And we'll be right back after this.
It's time for a break. Time to get away. Go for a ride. Take a hike. Jump in. Be inspired. Erie, Pennsylvania. We're ready to safely welcome you. With enhanced cleaning procedures, employee health checks, and social distancing. Plan your vacation at visiterie.com. Safe, fun, affordable, close.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. Joined now by softball coach Michelle Wiley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right. Thanks for coming in during this hectic schedule that seems to be constantly changing for you guys. You found some time on a Tuesday morning. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So starting out, we're gonna go back about a year. Whenever I remember being at the field for the doubleheader against Clarion, and just kind of thinking this might be the last event we see, and that turned out to be the case. What was that like? That having to go through those 2 months where you should have been playing softball?
Yeah, it was definitely difficult. We had a strong foundation of seniors that year. We had 9 seniors, so it was hard telling them that this was their last game, right. And so. Our expectations were very high for that year. We had, coming off great in Florida and then playing at home and then going to have to tell them that this was the end, right. Or potentially the end was very difficult.
So did that get to play motivation at all in the off season to get ready for this year?
Yeah, so what we did, especially because we do have so many freshmen this year, we dedicated it towards those girls who couldn't be with us this year. And right now we only had one who was able to come back, Mia. And so that has been a blessing for us. But it's been motivation, especially in the beginning. I mean, we were grateful that we could at least play in the fall, right. As a team. And we just want to keep them with us the entire season.
Right. All right. And then once you finally got to this season, still looks different, but you're playing games, playing at a relatively normal pace and everything, so it's nice to get back to that. But how has this season look different than previous years?
Yeah, so this season is definitely different. I mean, we're used to going to Florida, and with that's where we try a lot of different things, right. Having different lineups. And then this year, with jumping right into the PSAC, we didn't have that, opportunity, right. To play with the lineups a little bit more than we would have normally.
Right. So a little bit of learning on the job in conference play, which I'm sure everyone's doing a little bit of, but yeah, it's not the best way to that
right.
you want to go about
yes,
it, right?
Yes, right, definitely.
So I mean, are some of those learning curves getting ironed out by this point here in middle April?
Yep. So what we did is we talked about having our first 10 games like pseudo Florida, and then turning that next chapter, and we've been doing very well since then. And it was just, getting familiar, working with everybody. We have a lot of girls in different positions, and in the past we have a couple veterans in the same positions, but then we also have some veterans in different positions. And so it's just getting familiar working with everybody, right. As a team, as a unit. So.
All right. How's this year kind of shaping up to be different, just actually in play? So you have 2 divisions in the PSAC instead of the 3 divisions, so you play a couple more conference games. How's that shaping up for you guys here so far?
It is really different this year because of COVID. We're playing everybody 4 times, right. Which is totally different. So we don't have a lot of independent games per se, right. And it's just between the weather and COVID and jockeying schedules around. Being flexible is incredibly important this year for everybody.
Right. And yeah, I mean, I know as someone who's on the end of, hey, we may be moving these games this time, maybe that time. I know
yep.
You guys are being flexible. Other teams are being flexible, and it's worked out well for us so far. Right now, we don't have any games to make up.
Right.
To find some wood to knock on. But,
yeah, right.
so far, it's
sure.
been good. Just what are you guys looking at here for your last 2 weekends of conference play, and hopefully start getting into the postseason strong?
Yep. So, I mean, we're really focusing, and we always have focused on the fundamentals. And if we play the fundamentals and we do our games the way we know how to play, we'll be sitting good in the playoffs. This year, they're only taking 4 from each division and not 5. So we're really jockeying we would love to be one of the top 2, because then we can host. Right. That's ultimately our goal, but getting into the playoffs is very important for us.
Right. How you might have to get there to actually see it, but how does that postseason format where they're doing 3-game series instead of a large double elimination tournament?
Right.
How does that change things?
I mean, it's kind of like what we do anyways with having the double headers, so there's nothing too out of the ordinary on that. Well, I mean, it won't be too much of a surprise. I mean, going to Quakertown is always nice. We do some team bonding there right. as well. We have some places we always hit up, whether it's to eat or for snacks or whatever. So the freshmen are going to miss out on that part. But I think just being together, working in the playoffs, I mean, that's really what our goal is right now.
Right. All right. So that'll wrap up all the softball-related questions.
Okay.
We're going to do the Fast 5 now. And this is your first appearance, but I think I'm going to give you the second set of appearance questions because I think I like those better. I came up with almost all of them, so really I'm just judging myself there. But we'll give it a quick go here. Ready?
Okay.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? That's tough. I mean, Homemade pierogies. We're going to go with that.
Okay, that's a good one. Let's see.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sport other than softball?
I'm going to go with baseball. It's similar enough.
All right. Let's see. What's the best sporting event you've seen in person? It could be something that you coached or something that you were there, but you had to be there for.
So I went to the Olympics,
Okay.
and I watched the softball Olympics in '96.
Okay.
So that was really cool. I got to meet some of the players and sat next to Michelle Smith, and she actually showed me how to throw a change up on a little koala bear from the Australian team that threw into the stands. So that was really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. All right, let's see. Would you rather have a foot of snow or have it be 100 degrees and humid?
100 degrees and humid, definitely.
Okay. I do say, too, that's one of my favorite ones because everyone has a definitive answer to it.
Yes.
But it's 50-50. All right, let's see here. And what's your favorite animal?
A wolf.
Okay. There you go. That is, yes, that's 5 of them. That's
Awesome.
the fast 5. Michelle
Thank you.
Wiley, head softball coach, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck as get into the last 2 weeks of the regular season and postseason.
All right, thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back after this.
Meet you at Molly's, before the game, after the game, or for the game. The modern Irish pub is just steps away from campus and offers big snacks, traditional Irish favourites, and a wee bit of the unexpected. Our hospitality goes beyond just home games. Molly's offers live streaming of all Gannon away games, so fellow knights can gather round the table and share in the quest for victory. For every Gannon game, remember, meet you at Molly's.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. Our final interview of the day. We're joined by softball fifth-year senior Maria Taliani. Thanks for coming in today.
Of course, thank you.
All right, so what's been like this year to get to come back and actually get to play your full season here this year?
It's been really awesome. I'm really grateful that in combination of Gannon, organizing everything with COVID, and just being able to finally be back on the field, it has been really great. So I'm really grateful for that.
All right. Jumping back to last year, a little over a year at this time, what was it like to kind of have that season pulled out from under you? What was going to be your last season?
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
It was heartbreaking and devastating. Yeah, those girls that were in my class were just amazing, and I really do miss them a lot. So not being able to finish the season, but also having to leave campus early, I think both of those together were really hard to deal with for a while. But being able to come back with this group of girls and these coaches has been awesome.
All right. What went into that decision for you to decide to come back? Because obviously it was open to everyone eligibility-wise. Obviously everyone had decisions to make. So what went into that for you?
Well, I knew immediately that I wanted to come back. Then from there, it was just kind of organizing what plans I had to rearrange, making sure that the coaches knew everything, and so I really just kind of rearranged what I was going to do this year. I was able to actually defer a decision to a grad school in DC. So all in all, I think I was really lucky, and I was pretty easily able to come back and study here and play.
All right.
Yeah.
What kind of motivation does that give you coming into this year?
A lot of personal motivation to just finish on a high note for myself, and to kind of prove to myself that, at this level, that I finished it how I started it. And also kind of playing for those girls that didn't get to come back this year, because I know that any of them would have given anything to be able to come back, and they're all off doing amazing things too. And I know that they missed a lot. So I keep right here whenever we play. So.
Right. So getting into this year, what was it like to just be able to get back out on the field once you were able to there in early March?
A lot of emotions, for a lot of different reasons. But once we got back out there, once we started, I was just so thankful to be out there, because we kind of talked as a team, like we didn't believe it until we saw it. So finally, once our feet were on the ground, we were like, okay, here we go. It's go time. So.
Right. And now since it started, it's kind of been a rush of games. Games got moved around for all kinds of different reasons. But where's your team stand right now? As we just talked about with Coach Wiley, got a lot of young people on the team. You had some growing pains. What's it been like through that first 6-7 weeks now?
I think it has been very good for everybody to have those growing pains and to really kind of have to settle into the positions that they've been put in. it's been a learning year for sure, but as every team talks, you don't want to peak right away. You kind of want to hit that peak as you're going into the postseason, and I think that we are on that track right now.
All right. Let's see here. You are an environmental science major.
Yes.
What do you want to do? You just talked about deferring grad school, so I imagine that's in the plans, but what do you want to do with that?
Yeah. So, well, at Gannon, I also got my undergrad in environmental science. And kind of in my senior year last year, I really got interested in public health. So I continued the environmental science track this year, and then I go into George Washington University next year. I will be enrolled in their global environmental health program. So I really like to work with women and children and make sure that they have all of the resources that they need so that, you know, they are set to go and don't have to rely on anybody else.
All right,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And just so you joked before we started there, I said I was going to ask you about what brought you to Gannon. You said that was a while ago, but do you remember way back when? What initially brought you to Gannon?
Well, I knew that I wanted to study in the science department, and Gannon obviously is well known for all of their science courses and majors. And then also talking to the coaches 5 years ago, it looked different. Coach Jake was here, Coach Wiley, Coach Joe, and even Coach Dave was here, and they really sold me on the whole experience. And also the people that I met at Gannon, like right away, family atmosphere, you're welcome, like everybody is welcome, and so that is what sold me on Gannon.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to wrap up the Gannon and softball-related questions. Now we're going to move on to the Fast Five, see if we can get to know you a little bit better with some five quick answers. You ready?
Yes.
All right, we're going to lead off with, what's your favorite book?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Remember the Titans.
All right. What is your dream car?
Something environmentally friendly. So an electric car. I know everyone's about Tesla right now, so throw that out there.
That's good. Let's see. Dream vacation.
Somewhere on a beach. It doesn't matter where. Just a beach. That's fine.
I joke that on days like this where it's kind of cold and rainy out, that a lot of people have tropical destinations for their dream vacation.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. What's your favorite band or favorite kind of music?
Zach Brown Band. Yeah, he's my favorite.
Okay. Well, that was the Fast Five. Maria Taliani, thanks for coming in and joining us.
Thank you.
Good luck with the rest of your semester and the rest of the softball season.
Thank you.
All right. That'll wrap up this episode of the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. We'll be back next week with more interviews with the coaches and student athletes right here at the Sheraton Erie Bayfront. Thanks.